Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the M53, M55, the Tier 9 American SPG. We're located on the west spawn of Sand River under the command of Tactically Moving Downward of the 335th clan. Well, we've seen that colour scheme before. Yes, because he's been in a battle and in another video. He's got the 18-inch howitzer, which identifies this as the M55. It's capable of 900 alpha, 52mm of pen, and 10.5 meters blast radius, and 12.5 seconds to 28 seconds of stun. Well, he opted to go the long way round to get up onto the hill, but I don't blame him doing that. When you've got lots of teammates trying to go through the same gap, sometimes it can actually be worthwhile just taking a long trip and locating yourself that way. Okay, a bit crowded up here. I'm sure he won't get jogged by his teammates. More than likely he will. Okay. Oh dear. Or was that his choice? I think that may have been his choice to actually change. Oh, got a bit of splash there on the Leopard prototype. Tier 9 game with Tier 7 tanks in it, so he's top tier in this one. But you can see he's already decided to come down from that position and move a long way away. I think it's just too dangerous being in that spot. In fact, he's not the only one who's moving position. The ISU 122-2 is also changing spot. Now, in fact, one of the good reasons that he's actually chosen to do what he's done is because this team seems to be very top heavy on the north end of the map. You can see there's a large number of his teammates who actually made their way up the north end and are moving east towards the enemy. From this position, so long as those guys stay on that little hill, he can actually shoot at the enemy down on the south side of the map. And because of the wide arc of this Arty, because of course it's got a 60-degree arc, 30 degrees either side of the center line, he can actually shoot from over here with minimal penalty on reticule bloom every time he fires. Or every time he changes target as well. Okay, well the first shot actually landed just up against the walls of the building rather than actually attacking the enemy tank. Okay, from this position he can still attack those enemy tanks further down the riverbed. And I think he's going to go for, well, he was indicating he was going to go for the KV3. He was following it, but now he's switched. No, he's definitely going to go for the KV3 after all. Lines it up and rounds out. Here we go. Direct hit on his engine deck. 459 hit points. Good shot. Another thing I like about this position is there's absolutely no way that the enemy is going to be hunting for his chaser up here. He can actually move that with reasonable safety, so long as the enemy doesn't look north. If they look north, they might suddenly realise that chasers are coming from the north area. They might tell their Arty that's where it's coming from. Had a good chance of hitting the Gonzalo there. Gonzalo's decided to go way down into the dip, and I'm not sure if he meant to fire that one, but it actually has wasted a shell, unfortunately. You only get 20 rounds with the M53 M55, so you do need to make sure that each round is counted, that it actually does something. Okay, he's almost loaded. Do a lot of damage to the standard B. Well, he got some splash and he got the sun assist because the standard B went down to the Panther. Now he's still following his guys. In fact, his guys have now occupied a significant area near their cap. In fact, actually have wiped out quite a few tanks, but this is a bit of a dangerous spot. And Tactically Moving Downwards has done this before. Picked a spot where he's prominent and could be spotted by the enemy tanks. Admittedly, there's no light tanks on the enemy team, But it could be a medium that pops up at a sudden moment and gets a sight of him, in which case he would be in danger. Luckily, he does have a pattern nearby who can do something about it. Not something I'd be inclined to do. I'd be inclined to sit on the reverse slope and just have the penalty that I can't shoot at targets that are short distance away from me, but I can hit long range targets. Because of course he can still hit this Leopard prototype. Now let it settle and dial in just ahead of the Leopard prototype, because he's going to move forward again. There we go. You see, he did that. He could have picked a spot ahead of the Leopard and used that. Instead, he's marked the ground near the trees to tell the M2Y that's where I'm looking for. And we see that Lorraine 40-ton tank going down the dip, and I think he's been indicated by some of our teammates. But unfortunately, there's no way he can get a shot into there because it's just too deep. Now, you might get a shot on him as he gets closer to the edge there. So dial in on the edge and get ready. Okay, there you go. Oh, had so many opportunities there to shoot. He's hesitating when he should have shot instead. He's hesitating a lot. And that gives the enemy the opportunity to get a tank in there. He does kill the Lorraine 40-ton for 594. But he could have got around that. Now we've lost all the tanks that went into the attack and got near the enemy cap area. And there are 5 tanks ahead of us now. Hesitation can sometimes be the loser of many an engagement. And that's why, of course, the SAS motto is who dares wins, who hesitates dies, who dares survives. I think it's the other way around, actually. It's who dares survives, who hesitates dies. Don't hesitate. If you've got an enemy and you've got them full within the camera, take the shot. You never know, especially if you can anticipate the enemy's going to move forward. There you see, he's not shooting. He's actually watching the VK kill the Panther. And now that VK, will he go up there until he's unspotted? He's unspotted now. So he can't see him. He should have fired by now already, and I think he's missed the opportunity. And now he might get spotted because he is just the other side. And yes, in fact, now he's gone totally defensive. And he's putting himself in a cul-de-sac where he can't get out. And there's an enemy tank just the other side of the river break, or the passing, the crossing. Now, that Gonzalo is a one-shot. And the T-34, well, he's a 2-shot. I would definitely go for the Gonzalo. Kill that guy. Rounds out. Yep, he's gone. Okay, now the T-34 might have seen that. In fact, actually, the Leopard prototype did. And he's holding his gun up and giving up. Now, don't give up. Never surrender. Never give in. Never surrender. I know it's Galaxy Quest, but you don't give them an inch. You ram them. If you fired your shell and you've got nothing left, just ram them and get some hit points off them that way. It really annoys them if they get somebody ramming them in the face. It is, after all, a medium tank. But fortunately, our last teammate now is the ISU 122-2, who redeployed himself halfway up the hill. But they're capping, and I suspect they'll cap out before the end of this game rather than actually fight it out. But if they don't, this guy's going to have a bit of fun because he's going to be putting holes in a lot of the enemy tanks trying to kill him. Yeah, never surrender, never give in. It's only if it was Steve Walst would you surrender, and that's only because you're going to make a comedy out of it by surrendering, and he's going to take you to water and try and drown you. But the fact of the matter is that never give in on the enemy. Get some hit points off them. It's all about hit points. Go into the ram and get them that way. Okay, that A44 is coming in. They're going to cap out. That's it. That's one. Goes for the ram. Mucked it up a bit. Oh, well, looks like they have. Well, they got all the kills. And even their Arty got involved in that one. He knows. Here's the end of battle stats, and sadly, all that Tactically Moving Downwards was able to get was a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. Unfortunately, he only got 4 showing here, but he did get a decent number of hit points. You can see that the highest amount of hit points in the game actually earned was, in fact, the T95 on the enemy team with 2,532, so it wasn't a very high-scoring game. Second highest damage went to the ISU 122-2 on his own team, 2,521. And third highest damage was the T34 on the enemy team with 2,373. Tactically Moving Downwards got 1,758 hit points, which means that he's been beaten by 5 members of the enemy team, 1 of his own. He's in 7th place on damage. When it comes to kills, though, he actually scored the highest number on his team, but not the highest number overall. 4 kills went to the Leopard prototype, and of course one of those kills was him, and 2 kills then went to Tactically Moving Downwards, the VKID 3002D, the KV3, the Prototypo Standard B, and the Gonzalo. And when it came to base XP, it's the enemy team comes out on top. T95 got 892, the Leopard prototype managed to get 842, and then the T34 807, and we can see that Tactically only got 260 out of that one. He fired 8 rounds, got 3 direct hits and 1 penetrating shot, and there's no guesses on that one. Yes, we saw him actually hit the Lorraine 40 ton with a direct hit. It penetrated and went straight through. Lorraine doesn't have much armor, and so it was understandable that he penetrated him, but I think he could have penetrated him when he first dialed in on his previous position. And unfortunately, because he was a bit hesitant, he allowed the Lorraine to get his shots out, and he managed to kill our teammate, and that might have actually changed the battle at the other end. But he did get the Lorraine 40 ton in the end anyway. Go back to the rest of the details. We can see he also got 6 splashes, 1,758 hit points of damage, of which 1,746 were at more than 300 meters. The close damage was the Lorraine Leopard prototype when he actually hit him at close range. 2 enemy vehicles were 2 hits received from the enemy, 2 penetrations, and of course the ram right at the end, which actually killed him. 6 enemy vehicles damaged, 2 killed, and 121 hit points of stun assist or 4 stuns. He actually made a loss on the game of 27,213 credits, but you have to take into account he's paying full price for consumables, and there is a trick which enables you to actually take that cost out of the figures, and you do that by actually saving up a few million credits every now and then and buying consumables when they're really, really cheap, when they're half price, and that way this never appears on your stats, and it makes your stats look much, much better, because of course you're not paying 20,000 for consumables, you're only paying 10,000 for them instead. You did get 390 XP out of it as well, but yeah, sadly it was a defeat, and it kind of folded rather quickly. In the end, actually, at the moment where he actually went into that little alcove, yes, he did get the kill on the Gonzalo, which I doubt if he would have been able to get if he had actually moved north. And if he had moved north, the Leopard prototype probably would have chased him, but he might have been able to get close enough to the ISU 122-2 to enable that guy to protect him, as he was then getting into a position where he might be able to shoot at the enemy with the support of the ISU. But sadly, I'm afraid it was too late, and instead he was forced into that little cul-de-sac area, which is not a good place to go into, certainly because there's no way out. There's nothing you can do. But you can ram the enemy. As I said, if somebody comes at you aggressively, you're not loaded, you fired your last shot, and you're still in the loading process, run at them. Go for a ram. Try and hit them. And if you do, not only confuses the hell out of them, but might actually get you some credits as well when you do some damage to them. So that's the end of this replay, but we do have another one for you, so let's have a look at that one. In the second replay, we're on the north spawn of Abbey. Game on. Nice clean dispersal there with nobody running into anyone. Okay, looks like he's going to sit behind the bushes for the first shot. He might redeploy afterwards though. Okay, he's lining himself up. Oh, he's aiming for the Abbey grounds. He's not loaded yet. Might get a chance at this M41 though. He's decided to stick around and he's likely to take damage. Okay, that's it. Oh, didn't shoot, but he missed out on a kill there. I think he possibly could have splashed that M41. And again, that's hesitation. Try not to hesitate. If you can see something like that going on, the shell coming in would actually take out the M41 because he would have been within the splash zone with low enough hit points that the splash would have killed him without actually damaging his teammates. We're seeing a large number of enemy tanks right down in the south, and thanks to our batch at 12 ton, we can now see loads of enemy tanks deploying, including a Borsig Waffenträger, and of course you know they have very, very little armor, which makes them prime targets. Short of actually hitting that one, and there is a T-30 there, and just saw him shoot. Saw a tracer move away from him, or not a tracer actually, it was more of a very fast moving shell. And we've lost sight of all of them again. Okay, we've got a target. It's a Skoda. He's backing off. He obviously got spotted and thought, nope, pull back. 705 is a chance target. I think it would probably hit the rock rather than hit the 705. Half the reticule is actually covered. He fires in. Oh, he gets a hit. That was a good one then. Now, something he's doing here, which I do agree with, is moving closer to the edge, because if you've noticed, we're a bit lopsided on the dispersal. We do have tanks out on the east side of the map, the river road, but the enemy seems to have a good position where they can actually shoot towards our cap area. And that M46 pattern at the moment is probably looking this way and seeing our Sharp Future 4 whilst we're looking at this Skoda. A bit of splash, and it helps our teammates. Another good one is he is moving about, changing position after each shot, not letting the enemy have a chance to have a nail on him. And he gets a good angle on this spot. Okay, now let it settle, let it dial in. Almost there. We're loaded. Let rip. Rounds out. Great shot! Kill shot on the 705. Overwhelmed that guy. But the enemy's a little close for my liking. That M46 pattern, he's only going to get past a few of our guys, and it will cause us no end of trouble. But from this moment, for the moment, he's actually much better off shooting in this direction. He does have some extra HE shells. Now, we've mentioned these before. They're capable of 1100 alpha, 65mm of pen. And if he did get the initiative, he could actually switch over and get even more damage on these enemies. It's got a lower blast radius. You get slightly less. You get 6 meters instead of the 10.5 that you actually get with the stun shells. But the advantage is you get more damage. And the enemy have got more reserves coming up towards us on the river road. The enemy have backed off down here tremendously. So now might be a good time to retreat to grid square A2. And that way we can provide support to our teammates. That's a good one. 270 on the TS5. And he's gone. The Skoda got him. And I think that's exactly what Tactically Moving Downwards is doing. He's actually moving over to the other side of the map. And from there, he can actually support his guys near the gate if they decide to come through. Enemy Arty spotted. And he's gone. Oh my God, our guys are doing really well on the west side of the map. In fact, we're doing well all over because we're 5 tanks up on the enemy now. So he probably doesn't even need to redeploy, but he's got a lovely target there, a Borsig, lining up the shot, working out, rounds out. Here we go. Yes, he got him! A direct hit! And I wouldn't be surprised if that one was a penetrating shot. And that's another reason why you stay to watch to see, did you actually get him? And he did get him. And the enemy are getting close to the gates, but not close enough yet. Now, can he get shots on those guys? Well, not at the moment, because our teammates seem to be killing them off very, very quickly. But we're moving through the enemy so rapidly now, I think this will be the final firing position that we're using in this game, because I think there's only, well, the Charioteer is the only one left, and there he is. He's heading back to get a few extra hit points. And, well, the shell went in. It actually stunned our Batchat 12 ton, but the game is over, and it's a victory. Here's the end of battle results, and it was a much better ending to this one than the previous battle. He got a second-class tanker out of this game, tactically moving downward. He also got a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 6, and nothing else is showing. So let's have a look at team score. Well, he didn't get the highest damage. That went to the Object 752 on our team, got 3,751 hit points of damage. Second highest damage went to the Concept 1B with 3,467, and the third highest damage to the E50, or E50, I should say, with 3,427. You can see tactically moving downward actually got 1,766 hit points of damage, but he was actually beaten by a couple of members of the enemy team. So all in all, he's actually in 6th place when it comes to damage. When it comes to kills, though, he's actually sharing 2nd space, because the Batchat 12 ton got 3 kills in that game. 2 kills went to tactically moving downward, the Shure Future 4, the Object 752, and the Skoda T56 on his team. Only 1 player on the enemy team managed to get 2 kills. That was the M46 pattern, and only 3 players on their team actually got kills. Yes, I'm afraid it was a bit overwhelmed. And when it came to base XP, the high scorer was the Object 752 with 1,008. He's the only one to get over 1,000 base. Concept 1B got 985. The Batchat 12 ton got 971. But in 4th place on base XP is tactically moving downward. So he had a much better game in this one with 848. He fired only 7 rounds, so even fewer than some of the games he's played. But yes, he got 5 direct hits and 1 penetrating shot. Now, no guesses for that one. It had to be the Borsig. Yes, very thin armor. Shell hits it, it goes straight through. And he definitely penetrated that guy and picked him up. So that was a nice kill. 7 splashes as well. 1,766. All of it are more than 300 meters. Damage 5 the enemy. Killed 2 and did 1,388 hit points of stun assist off 5 stuns. And yes, he did help his teammates a lot by firing those rounds in and damaging the enemy and allowing them to move through them so quickly. He only made a profit of 2,786 credits from the game, again because the consumables being so expensive. But he did make 1,980 experience points out of it as well. So all in all, it was a profitable game. And yes, he did have fun. You can tell that. And he got some nice shots in. Hope you enjoyed those replays. If you did, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.